going back to the discussion we were having about hammering concepts into people's brains, right, again and again, and having some sort of cadence so that folks don't forget and really don't get left behind when it comes to use cases, right? We don't want our folks to just take that information that they've learned in a sales quick start course or have, can't find information in the handbook, whatever it is. We've tried to compile all this information into our SAL course, which is called Applying DevOps. So let me share my screen. So just to start of the course, we'll have probably a lot more graphics when we have like a certification logo and things of that nature, but very simple. Just wanted to go through this course. There are two aspects to this course. So first you can learn about GitLab use cases, or you can start with the exercise. Our intent with this course is to have only a 20 to 30 minute e-learning. We don't want to take SALs away from their day job. We want them to do their day job better, right? That's the focus. And we want them to be able to recall use cases when they need to, and then also practice that. So the GitLab use cases here are really a review of what they should already know, all of the go-to-market tier 1 and tier 2 use cases. And the exercise here is giving them a fictitious scenario about a company, and they will schedule a 60-minute meeting with their manager to really ask good discovery questions and practice that. Now, the students will be given a scenario on this and some background. The manager who's going to play the role of the customer will have also an instructor guide, which will show them a little bit more backstory to some of the questions that are asked, or some of the history of the company and so on and so forth, or the problems that they're facing, right? And the other big thing about the exercise is that the manager actually has a rubric in which they will grade the SAL on and how they're doing. How well do they know these concepts? Have they identified the right business use cases, first of all? And are they asking the right discovery questions? So it's really a good coaching moment for the manager to give to the SAL. So just to give you a very quick intro into the course, I won't go through all the slides, but just to show you the look and feel and what we're trying to work with. And you'll see that there's a mountain here. We just created this very quick sort of interaction called a climb, just made that up. It's really about climbing the mountain and learning about all the different use cases and the tiers for GitLab. So you have some very basic instructions on, your character is going to be going up this mountain, and you're going to have a few things to help you on your journey, one being the GitLab Handbook, and that's kind of the most important thing that you'll need throughout this whole journey, and you'll be able to reference use cases as they come up, right? So if we start the game here, very simple, we want them to get involved. So, and the main point of this entire exercise, it might look a little cutesy and all that stuff, but we want them to hammer in is that all their answers can be found in the GitLab Handbook. And if they're not, then we need to create new GitLab Handbook pages, right? So they have to drag their map into their backpack. They have to drag their binoculars, their pick. I believe that's a nice pick, and their GitLab Handbook. And then they say, let's go. If they didn't pack all this, they would get some error to say, hey, it looks like you're missing stuff. So I'll just continue it through. So here's the overall map of the mountain. And basically you have these levels of tier 1 and tier 2, but you go on and you, first of all, before you even start learning about the different use cases, we're going to talk about what is a customer use case. And I'll show you what that looks like. So we have here some drag and drop interaction. What they have to do is pick the right stuff. Let me just minimize my Zoom window here. And the big thing here on the right-hand side, top right-hand side, you'll see the GitLab Handbook. That will link out to the specific use case handbook page so that they actually find the answer to this. So again, we're trying to condense all the information where it belongs. So they just have to, drag stuff into here. And let me just do that really quick. Just to show you what that looks like. Again, it's hammering in the point of, wait, what is a customer use case? Learning the basics, right? Getting good at the basics. They'll submit this action, then they'll move on to the next tier. Now they'll actually start learning about the use cases. So version control and collaboration, we have a few points in here. What does it enable you to do? This is all taken from the handbook, so we're not inventing new information. We're really repurposing, right? They should already be familiar with version control and collaboration. This is that high level, what does it allow you to do? And again, if they need more information on version control and collaboration, they can click this button here, and it will take them to the entire page where we talk about version control and collaboration. So each page is linked to the right thing. Again, continuous integration. This is all tier 1 stuff, our go-to-market tier 1 content. Again, they have that handbook link. I won't go through all of this stuff, but we just have some simple animations in here. We have our DevSecOps shift left security to give them more information on how this is done. And then I think the helpful also part of this is after they've learned a few bit about the different use cases and the tier, they're actually going to take a quiz. And the quiz, we're giving them a scenario about what the customer might say, right? And again, this is taken from the GitLab Handbook. We want them to be able to reference this content. So the scenario is presented here. I need to identify vulnerabilities, yada, yada, yada. And it says, choose the best use case that represents the scenario above. So we will have to pick then a use case here. So let's say it's DevSecOps. If I don't know about this and I need more information, I can always click the handbook link and it will take me to the DevSecOps page and I can click into that. I can learn about our value drivers. Again, we're trying to keep a handbook first approach. We don't want all the content to live in our e-learning course. We want people to go straight to the handbook. So that's our major focus. So I'll just answer a few of these questions really quick. See how good I am. I don't even need to read the scenario. I just know the answers. So I'll click next here and I'll go back to the map. Now we'll get into tier 2 and I'll follow the same sort of cadence of learn about the use cases and then take a quiz. One other thing I want to show you, I'll go a little bit behind the scenes here. Let me jump around a little bit. I will jump to actually the exercise portion. So let me do this and preview the scene. And really quick, last thing is we have all of the docs linked here for the role play scenario. They can access the instructor guide here, and they can also, if they click this button, a calendar will open up, their Google Calendar, and they'll schedule a meeting with their manager for that one-on-one role play scenario. And that's it.